Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're all staying safe from the virus. I know that most places now are starting to come out of lockdown, which is good. I know the UK is starting to come out of lockdown. But yeah, I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I just want to say as well, listen, this channel's gone mad over the last few days. So big up to each and every one of you who have subscribed, and big up to all the regulars in the chat. And yeah, thank you to everybody who's contributed to the success of this channel and the success of the channel growing. You know, I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to be discussing, and I've got a panel of guests with me. We're going to be discussing the Arsenal players and whether we would keep and whether we would sell them. So please do contribute in the chat. That would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, do smash the likes up, do fire them likes up, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because there's lots of great content coming on this channel. Listen, we're on the countdown to the Premier League now, so it's it's getting closer, isn't it? It's getting closer and closer. So let's get into today's show, and let's get into my panel of guests. Kevin, how are you, mate? I see you're back. I see you're back after your little stint on RedTube and your auditions for the porn industry. So yeah, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, you know, with these porn channels and stuff, pretty much it's going crazy right now, with people running out of ideas right now, and they're literally checking out porn websites. And I, for one, am gaining popularity. So, yeah, jokes aside, but I'm doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well too, man.
Yeah. I'm doing really well, thank you. And Nitesh over there is currently dodging a cyclone. How are you, mate?
I'm not flying, at least. That's what I can say. I'm not in that Superman zone wearing my red jersey and maybe my underwear above my shorts. But yeah, apart from that, I'm doing well and have a slight cold because of this weather change, but everything else is fine. It's not COVID.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing at least. And Simpy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I see you saved the best till last again. So yeah, I'm good too. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for having me on. And hi, Kevin and Nitesh. And big up to everyone in the chat as well. Hope you're all well.
Yeah. So like as I said, guys, we're going to be going through the Arsenal players and whether you keep or sell them. And I guess we'll probably start. I guess we'll probably start with the goalkeepers. Like obviously, are you guys happy with the goalkeepers? And then we've got Leno and Martinez. So let's discuss them. Would you be looking to keep those, or would you be looking to sell at least one of them? We'll start with. I know what most of you will say, but we'll start with Leno. Are you guys happy with Leno? Let's start with you, Simpy. Would you keep Leno, or would you be looking to try and upgrade the goalkeeper?
Personally, I really like Leno. I know quite a lot of people, and I don't know if Nitesh or Kevin agree, quite a lot of people will think he's got like a mistake in him, but there's a goalkeeper pretty much every single season. This season, pretty much at least every Premier League goalkeeper has at least made one or two bad mistakes. But it's a really good shot stopper, considering how many shots he's had to face at the start of the season, which was ridiculous. But yeah, I really like Leno, and I think we should definitely keep him.
Yeah, and Nitesh, how about you? Are you for Leno? Are you sort of? Would you be looking to keep him?
Yeah, I would keep him obviously because he's one of our best players. But the thing is that I feel that the fans need to understand that if we're not able to win something in the next 2 to 3 years, he's probably going to leave us anyways. So I would keep both our goalkeepers.
Yeah, and Kevin, what about you on Leno?
Yeah, Daniel. I pretty much echo what Nitesh and Simpy has just said, because Leno is a young goalkeeper, And let's be honest here, he's got years in him. And yeah, like Simply said, pretty much every goalkeeper has a mistake in them. Even one of the world's best as well. And if you put into context, even De Gea also had mistakes, his off days, and we couldn't be slating a keeper just for the odd one or two mistakes. I know many fans would put him into blaming that, have the blame games and stuff like that on Arsenal losing or drawing matches and stuff, but it's not all down to him, to be honest. And he's a very young goalkeeper, and he can get, because he's a good shot stopper as well. We are most likely every time we just keep that record as being overshadowed, because if you notice in the statistics, only Dubravka and Leno has pulled off many saves. And yeah, of course, Martinez, on the other hand, is he good to be a number 2? That's a doubt for me. But in current circumstances, yeah, I'd keep both of them for now.
And yeah, I would like to
Yeah.
add one more thing to that. If you're getting rid of players based on mistakes, then there are like 5 or 6 players that need to go before Leno.
Yeah, that's at
Yeah.
least our priorities. Yeah.
And what about Martinez? Because I know Martinez divides opinion. Like for me as well, I think I think we need to be keeping hold of. I think we need to be keeping hold of Leno. I do think he has potential. He has the odd mistake in him, but listen, every player, whether it's goalkeeper or striker, has the odd mistake in him. So, I think we need to understand as well that, he's had a lot of change since he's been at Arsenal. But yeah, Martinez is an interesting one though, because he has expressed his desire to play first team football. Maybe he's looking at his own career. So would you guys be willing to keep hold of Martinez, or would you just go, you know what, he probably wants first team football, so for us and for him, it might be the best thing to part ways with Martinez?
Yeah, I'll jump in before Kevin and Nitesh. Yeah, Martinez is a tricky one because obviously he's aging as well. He went out to Reading, I think it was, on loan when we had Cech and Leno, and he did really well. I think he was like, the fans absolutely loved him there. But the thing is, why is someone of that age and experience, why is he happy to sit on the bench? You would have thought majority of keepers, it's either like they're coming to the end of their career or they want to step up and get that first team position. I'm surprised he's not wanted to go to like another, I don't know, like a Spanish club or somewhere in the lower league in England and start like regular first place. But at the moment, yeah, I quite like Martinez. He's done well, other than the Liverpool 4-4 game where he didn't have any gloves on, he didn't have any arms, and he just let everything in pretty much. But yeah, I'd probably look to sell him, but it depends who we could bring in.
Yeah, and Nitesh, how about you?
Yeah, I would try to convince Martinez to stay at Arsenal for a couple of more years, because the thing is that if Leno is probably leaving in a couple of years, then the thing that it could be that could work out for him is that if Leno does leave in a couple of years and Martinez is able to improve on his current performances, because he's a good keeper, he's not poor, he's not like an Almunia. So if Martinez is able to maintain the set of performances that he's putting forward right now, what can happen is, if in a couple of years Leno decides to leave, then Martinez could at that point of time claim the number 1 spot. So
Yeah.
I would try to convince him to stay for a couple of years at Arsenal, and if he does that, then he has a chance of becoming the Arsenal number 1, rather than going to a smaller championship or a Premier League club where he may not be given the right kind of treatment as well.
Yeah. And just before I come to you, Kevin, big up to 17 people watching this live. That's great. Do smash a like on this video. I'm just going to get Kevin's thoughts on this, and then we are going to take some of your chats on this as well. So big up to everybody who's watching. So Kevin, what do you think?
Okay, like Nitesh just mentioned, Martinez is a good player. He's not a world beater, let's be honest here, but if as Simpy mentioned quite a while ago, that he's pretty much aging, and he's been here for quite long as well. I think it's 10 years,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Longest
So he's
serving.
been here. Yeah, he's been here long. What I need to see from Martinez right now is, I understand Leno is the first choice keeper right now, but if it comes to a point where Leno makes any mistake, because let's be honest, all big teams, if any players are prone to making a mistake or something, I would require these players, that play second fiddle, to push them up, to give them competition. Because right now, Leno is given a safety net. Regardless of what type of performance he puts in, week out, he's going to be the first choice keeper. So I need a competition there. I'm hoping that Martinez can provide that competition, being his age and he wants to be a number one as well. So let's be honest here, he has to push up. He has to push his limitations and level so that he can give stiff competition to Leno in goal right now. That's the type of mentality we would require at a squad, instead of like just saying like, I just opt to sit in the bench and I prefer to play in the cup games and stuff. For me, the main thing is they must push and compete with each other. That's the focal point I see in it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
another
I'm
thing
keeping
that
him,
I wanted to add. Another thing that I wanted to add with respect to that is that when Leno had come to Arsenal, we were in the Europa League. Now, if we don't finish in the top 6, or we probably may still be in the Europa League. So, if Leno is not happy with that, he wants Champions League football, he may leave as well.
Yeah,
So,
and
if he actually leaves, sorry, I was just I had a cold, so if he actually leaves, then Martinez will be the one we will have to turn to, because no big keeper will actually come to Arsenal at that point of time. If a big keeper comes to us when we have barely anything happening for us at just the Europa League, then probably it will be a miracle.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. I think Leno is our number one, but yeah, see, I don't think Martinez is probably. Listen, I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. I think we could get a better number 2 in, and if he wants to play first team football, listen, he ain't going to get in first team at Arsenal. Big up to 21 people in the chat. If you're new, do subscribe. If you are already subscribed, do smash a like on the video. Simply, what are people saying in the chats in regards to the goalkeeping situation?
So we got some good points. Where we got? Come on, what is my laptop doing? We have. Where's it gone? So let me go right to the top. Yeah, Arsenal Vlogs. So big up Arsenal Vlogs are saying Leno. He'd keep Leno because he's a good shot stopper. That's a tongue twister. And I remember his save against Spurs last season from Eriksen, but he can make some mistakes and his distribution can improve a bit. I agree with that really, because he does hold on to the ball a bit long. Like we were saying, I think it was when we did the RB Leipzig watch along. Remember when the goalkeeper just whacked it straight up to Timo Werner and they got the goal, whereas Leno would stand there for like 30 seconds. What else have we got?
Have we got new people in the chat? I'd imagine we've got some new.
We've got, like, right at the very start, I saw the Revenite. I think is that a Star Wars picture, I think. I don't know if this guy's new. He might have been in before, but I can't remember seeing his name. So big up Tom McGoran. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Big up Jonathan Talbot.
Yeah.
Justice as well. Not seen you for a while, Justice. Hope you're well.
Big up
Ilias,
Justice.
VP,
Big up Ilias
Bertrand.
Big up VP.
Miss Melina.
Bertrand.
Big up Miss Melina. We've got Sam Greenwood. Arsenal Insights. We've got Chadwick as well. Chadwick. I think Chadwick asked if he could jump on the stream because he's got to head out to work. But I don't know if he sent that quite a while ago. Maybe it's too late.
Yeah. Chadwick, if
sorry.
it's not too late, Chadwick, put a message in right at the chat, and Simpy will look out for it. And if obviously it's too late, then.
So there was a point that Sam Greenwood mentioned. So big up Sam. Hope you're well. He said this is something I agree with actually. He said Manuel Neuer is 34, and he thinks that Bayern Munich are going to want to take Leno to take over him in about 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree with him. Then you got Liam Damon as well. Hope you're well, Liam. Leno is good, and Martinez needs to go full international. Needs to play first team football. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I agree.
because they've got it's Romero, isn't it, from Man United, who's the current goalkeeper there, so he could do some competition. And then Ilias as well. I think Ilias has changed his profile picture. So he thinks we should keep Martinez because he's a great number 2. But if he wants to go, then we should sell him because we can still get a decent fee for him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I think we
don't
could
agree
still get
to
a
the
decent
fact.
fee.
Yeah, as you mentioned that Leno, if Bayern Munich wants him, Leno will probably go to Germany, and that could happen because Ter Stegen is not going to Bayern Munich, and that is why they're not probably going to favor him in the German national side as well, as they have already shown that. So if Leno does, Leno will be given an offer from Bayern Munich that come to Bayern Munich and play at the Allianz Arena. He's not going to say no, because once he's there, he's also going to get favored in the German national side. So it is a win-win situation for him. So at the most, he has a couple of years with Arsenal. It's going to be a stepping stone process for him. He's going to use us as a stepping stone and then go to Bayern Munich and become the national keeper for Germany as well. So we should hold on to Martinez, and once Leno is out, we need to push Martinez if we don't get a better keeper than Martinez.
Yeah, I don't think he's Arsenal quality for number 1. But I get your point, Nitesh. Yeah, Daniel, your chat's going crazy today. There's so many people. There's so many comments.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. So many. Big up to each and every one of you who's watching live. Do fire at them likes as well, guys. It's really, it really helps. So yeah, let's move on to the defenders, and let's. I can see Kevin laughing there in the background. Let's start with Bellerin, and I'm going to start with Simpy. I'm going to come to you first.
Bellerin. Okay, so yeah, this is one being talked about by a lot of people. It's a tricky situation because I would say sell, but then if we didn't bring anyone new in, then who are we going to replace him? We've got Ainsley, who's on his way out. We think, and he's been sort of like outcasted. Then we've got Callum Chambers, who's filled in as right back, but he's still not. He's not a right back, and he's just ambidextrous basically. If we could get like a Max Aarons, like people are saying, or someone of a decent level to replace Bellerin, then I'd get rid of Bellerin because he's it's the whole his whole mentality, like the whole thing. We've mentioned it before, like he's Alexis Sanchez saying Sanchez was crazy. He always wanted to win, and then we're thinking like, don't you want to win? What are you on about? But I'd get rid of him.
Yeah, and Nitesh, I'm going to come to you.
Yeah, I just want to add that Bellerin is as leaky as my nose right now. So we can probably get rid of him, and probably if we get a better option. Otherwise, if Niles would have agreed to play as a right back, then I wouldn't have even thought about it. I would have said, Bellerin, go back to Spain, go back to MLS, go back to wherever you want, go back to your gay community as well if you want, and be their mentor, be their hero. But we don't be an Arsenal hero. We don't need you to be an Arsenal hero. Yeah, because he's not going to step up. When Alexis Sanchez wanted the team to win, if a player says, I am not here to win, I'm here to have fun, then you can go have fun wherever you want. You can probably go and do your fashion thing and have fun there. We won't stop you from changing your career. But the thing is, don't give Arsenal fans false hopes that you're going to come back and you're going to be a great right back. It's better that you go into whatever else you want to do, and rather than that, don't come back to the Arsenal team if you don't want to win. Because Arsenal team needs winners and Arsenal fans need winners. If we didn't need winners, we would have gone on for another 100 years with Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. And Kevin?
Yeah, like Simpy mentioned, Bellerin is pretty much a bang average player. He had his breakthrough season. Yes, pulling the strings, pulling the wonder. He was the upcoming talent and so on. But I reckon his performance have dipped ever since that sprint he made against Bayern Munich, setting up Mesut Ozil for the second goal. I think that practically ended his career. I think he sprinted his life out, and that literally ended his career. That after that game, he's been pretty much bang average. And if we can get a decent amount of money, we are talking about like 30 to 30 million, but I don't think so. People are going to pay 30 million. They're probably retarded to get 30 million out of Bellerin. But let's be honest here. I'd like to go for a Max Aarons. And like Nitesh also mentioned, Maitland-Niles as well can play as a right back. He has shown it and he has proven it, and he has this good track back. He attacks well, so he can be a decent enough player. But the thing is Arteta really rating him, and does he want to be at Arsenal? So that's the biggest question mark right now. And Bellerin, his career is done. His career is literally done. I think we can get very much a lot of players at right back, probably not in the likes of go on, Nitesh.
And I don't think any
Nitesh,
Arsenal has the fear. I don't think any Arsenal fan has the fear that, oh my God, Bellerin is going to leave Arsenal. They're like, oh my God, yeah, he's finally going. Thank you. So I think that's the kind of reaction that Arsenal fans will also give, because I don't think they have any kind of fear that, please, Bellerin, don't leave us, like an Aubameyang. With respect to an Aubameyang, even the opposition fans or opposition players are not scared of Bellerin anymore. Initially, when he stepped onto the pitch, when he started off his Arsenal career, there were a lot of defenses that were worried about this guy's attacking play. But now the only thing that worry us are his injury bills. So that's about it.
Yeah, I think, if Bellerin leaves, there'll be a lot of female Arsenal fans annoyed. But it's all right. They can go after Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, I know Melina put in the chat said that he's more interested in his fashion career than his Arsenal career, which is so true. And Sam G said that he's the worst. Since he's messed his hair up, he's got worse. Personally, I would sell Bellerin because I don't think he's good enough. I think he's too inconsistent. And not being horrible, that when you come back from the injury that he had, there's no coming back for that. Personally, he's lost half a pace. He's slowed right down. So yeah, for me, I think Bellerin's got to go. So let's move on to the central defenders. Now, let's start with Mustafi. And I'm going to come to Nitesh first.
Yeah, does that guy still play for Arsenal? I thought he left. Because every time I see the name Mustafi on the team lineup, I don't see him on the pitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can say probably the only time that he has maybe one of his legs have appeared on the pitch, or maybe both his legs have been seen on the pitch, is under Arteta. But then again, it's high time that we sell him off. I mean, if you need to understand that he's a Wenger bought defender, and whichever defenders Wenger seems to buy, they suck.
Yeah. Simpy, what do you reckon on Mustafi?
Mustafi's another tricky one. So obviously we all know. Well, this is the thing.
I'm surprised at you, Simpy.
It's weird now because I've gone from hating Mustafi, not hating him as a person, but hating him as a player, to feeling sorry for him, and then feeling like actually there's a player in there. It's like that Valencia player's coming in, but he's not good enough. He's turned it around slightly, but he's gone from I think even maybe Sam said this. I think he's gone from like a 1 out of 10 to like a 3 out of 10, which is nowhere near good enough for Arsenal team. But yeah, Mustafi, get out.
Can I add?
Can I just point out that this is Arsenal FC, not Samaritans FC as well. When you said you're feeling sorry for him,
sponsor Mustafi £1 a month.
Can I say one thing? The only thing tricky about Mustafi is whether we should sell him now or 5 minutes later. I don't have any more tricky things with respect to Mustafi.
Yeah. And Kevin?
There's no question about it. Get him. Sell him. He's been taking liberty out of this club. 90K a week. You got to be joking. And he's bang average ever since he's been here. I remember the very first time we signed him, and he had about 10 straight games great defensive performance. And ever since he got that injury or something in the middle of the 10 games, he's been retarded ever since and never seems to get back into normal conditions. So I know what Sippy is trying to explain, that he is like pretty much performing in under Arteta. But the thing with Mustafi is, right now, like Sippy mentioned, on a scale like from 1 out of 10 to 3 out of 10, is like from from 3 mistakes back then, he has 1 mistake in him right now. So does that make any difference? No, it doesn't. Maybe for a keeper it does, but not for a defender. The keeper's counting on the defenders, and if we have clowns in front defending the keeper, oh man, it's unimaginable. Tell him.
Daniel, have you noticed one thing, Daniel? That since Kevin has come back from his red tube, whatever savage kind of trip, he's using the word bang a lot. Bang average.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, it's bang average. But Kevin, you've been doing a lot of
Shout out
banging
to
in the last
RedTube,
2
guys.
days.
Shout
A lot
out
of-
to RedTube. Yeah, big up the
A lot of
RedTube.
banging there.
Can I just say,
A lot of banging
RedTube,
there.
if you want, can I just say, RedTube, if you're watching this, sponsor the channel.
Come on, yeah.
Imagine that at the start. You have to play like a clip of the video. Like
Could
5
you
second
imagine
clip.
that getting sponsored by RedTube? That'd be big up 20 people watching this live. So thank you very much. What are people saying on Mustafi? Simply, what have we got?
Ooh, we got loads of comments flying in.
Yeah, big up to everybody, man. This is the flow of the channel is brilliant. So
we had quite a lot on Bellerin. Do you want me to read the Bellerin ones out, or do you want me to just jump straight in the Mustafi ones?
yeah, read the Bellerin ones out as well. We'll read some of them out and.
Yeah. So yeah, Bellerin. A lot of people saying like Liam Damon and Taib and Ilias. Yeah, saying get Bellerin out really. Zoolander VP said, and Revanite saying about a catwalk. Yeah, saying get him out. He's not committed enough, basically. Then yeah, Arsenal Vlogs was saying, yeah, Bellerin, get rid of him. You can't track back, and we need a replacement. Go for like Max Aarons or someone at a similar level. Bellerin lost a lot of pace as well from his injury. That's Ilias said that. Revanite says, yeah, Mustafi gets a sympathy. I can't even speak today. Sympathy vote. Miss Molina said Mustafi's her favourite player ever. So I think she's going to play.
He misspelled it. He should have said Mustafi gets Simpy.
Simplified. Mustafi gets simplified.
And then Bertrand's telling me off not to be sentimental towards dead players like Mustafi. Big up Sofian as well. Welcome.
Yeah, big up. Big up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and you remember that interview Mustafi gave, and after that, all the Arsenal fans were all soft-hearted and stuff, and they were like, maybe we have been too harsh on this guy, and that is when I said, this guy doesn't have a career on the pitch, but he can surely manipulate people, and he's going to be a good author. So that's all that proved, because he was like all sad-faced and mushy-faced and all that, and like, I came here after winning a World Cup. I had dreams and ambitions and stuff and all that I wanted to win something with Arsenal. And then he just shat on the pitch for like 5-6 seasons and done nothing for us.
Yeah. So let's move on to David Luiz. Now, I know there's been reports flying around that he's probably set to stay at Arsenal and that they're possibly offering him another contract. But I'm going to start with you, Nitesh. David Luiz, would you keep him or would you part company?
I would keep him. I mean, with the options that we have, Mustafi, Socrates, and these Mavropanos, I mean, we have 3 to 4 players that we can probably sell before David Luiz, even Rob Holding. Rob Holding is still decent, but if we are trying to sell and make some money out of it, I would also sell him because we have Pablo Mari, we have Saliba, we have David Luiz. So we need to keep hold of David Luiz because he has put in a better performance. And some of them don't agree, but he is actually a good leader with respect to taking responsibility, with respect to sorting shit out. If David Luiz shouts at you, I think you at least got to acknowledge it. If Aubameyang shouts at you, you think he's probably singing.
Yeah. Kevin?
David
David
Luiz.
Luiz?
Oh,
Yeah.
pasta hair. Yeah. He's been good. He's been decent for us, except for that one unforgivable mistake that he did against Olympiacos, just dumping us out of the Europa League. But yeah, he's been good. He's been a good player, a half decent player. But we should have just given him a 1-year contract instead of 2, which is being reported right now. But a 1-year option, maybe to just like nurture the likes of Saliba when he gets in. Because let's be honest, we can't have a baseline of a very young defensive structure, because that's virtually, there's no leaders in there, and that's going to cause a bit of misunderstandings and players with their odd mistakes or so. So they need a vocal voice in there. And I think David Luiz has a proven track record in leadership as well. So I think being a very young squad with the likes of Saka and Saliba coming on, Martinelli, so a vocal presence is also required. And I think David Luiz fits the bill right now. Not for the long run, but for a short-term fix, I think David Luiz can do a reasonable job.
Can I counter
I'll
Kevin
keep him. Yeah.
on one point? Yeah, the point is that it would be smart if we gave David Luiz the 2-year deal. I said that last year as well. I'll tell you why. Even if we want to keep him for just 1 year, after that we can probably try to sell him, and we'll get more options than Benfica. Benfica has no money to pay for him. If you saw the president's comment, he said that if David Luiz has to come, instead of 8 million a year, we'll probably give him 1 million. So if we have a 2-year deal with David Luiz, which has not been confirmed yet, we can try to sell him after 1 year and probably at least get 5 to 6 million out of that defensive deal. So it's a good thing that we can probably try to sell him if we want to at the end of the first year. And so a 2-year deal is much smarter than letting him leave for free as well. Because David Luiz, even if he's old and useless to us, still has some kind of market value.
Yeah, I probably agree with that.
35 years old.
Yeah. So
MLS.
Simpy, Simpy, David Luiz, would you keep, sell?
Yeah, I'd keep him. Similar to the points that Kevin and Nitesh have mentioned, and quite a few people in the chat as well. I see David Luiz just 1 more year I'd go for, just to be with, just sit there with Saliba, maybe give him some time, give him some leadership and show him how the Prem is basically, and sit with Mari as well. I think Arteta's going to use Luiz as like that one starting centre-back and then switch partners between whoever we've got at the club come the next season. So yeah, I'd definitely keep him just for 1 more year. Or I quite like Nitesh's idea of keeping him for that extra year and then selling him just to get some money back, because Arsenal want to get some money. So yeah, I'd definitely keep David Luiz.
Yeah, and what are people saying in the chat?
So we got a lot of people discussing about David Luiz really. So let me scroll up. God, let's scroll for ages.
There's loads of people. So big up to each and every one of you.
So Justice is saying he doesn't really mind if Luiz stays. Revenite is saying Luiz is a tricky one. It says he's got experience, but he's not Arsenal level. And Sufyan has said keep Luiz and play him as a CDM. I know that's been talked about before with a few of you guys. What else have we got? We've got lots of questions and some other points as well.
I just want to say one thing about the CDM thing.
Yeah.
David Luiz played 1 game as a CDM last season. He got injured in that. So it's not, he doesn't have the capability or capacity now to run like he used to probably have. So he can't put in that work ethic and work shift at the moment for a CDM, needed for a CDM. So I wouldn't play him as a CDM. At a centre back, he doesn't have to run so much. So I think he would fit better as a centre back only.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I think, yeah, like David Luiz, keep him for 1 more year and then, then sell him off, because we can get better. I think we can get better. I think, like you say, he's aging. So I do think that a 1 year deal would be, probably beneficial to all parties. Just simply because as well, that the older he gets, the less valuable he becomes. And listen, we've already got enough shit at this club without adding to it. So yeah, do fire up them likes, people, and do subscribe if you are new. Let's go on to Pablo Mari, because he's an interesting one, because obviously he's only a loan deal. So would you make that permanent, or would you sort of let him, leave at the end of his loan spell? Because we've not seen him a great deal of him. So Kevin, I'm going to come to you first on this. Pablo Mari, what would you do with him?
Oh, Pablo Mari, he divides, not really divides opinion, because we have not really seen much of him at the beginning of to start the list, because Pablo Mari, he's shown bits and pieces of what he can do, but has he been outstanding? Not really, but he's been doing his bits. We can't really take a judge at him right now. We can't really judge him and slate him that he's average or he's good vein of form, because our fan base seems to like hype things up, and they literally look at Pablo Mari as the next coming of Messiah or something, but he's not. He's just a defender, another defender that come in from South America just to plug the gaps in, and he's only time will tell how he performs in the next option. But do I really want to buy the player? But it's a tricky one. I'd probably go for the loan spell first, because I don't want the club to just spend madly, although the fee is only reported about 10 million or 9 million, whatever the figure is, but to just fork out 10 million first and just see how it goes. We just don't want another waste of investment. So let's see how the loan spell goes before we purchase the player, instead of like purchasing him first based on 2 games or 3 games he played and then regretting later. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
So probably I'd keep him for a loan spell first, and then I'll see if he performs well. He deserves his move permanent, or if not, send him where he came from. That's it.
Yeah, and Nitesh, Pablo Mari?
I would sign him. I have 5 reasons, if I want to say. 5 reasons. I'll go with the first one. First one, he's former Manchester City. He has spent some time with Arteta. Arteta can groom him because they know each other a bit. He hasn't really played for Manchester City, but yeah, they have some kind of communication, and he's played a bit under Arteta. Second thing is, when he was in Brazil for Flamengo, he was looking decent. He played well against Liverpool in the Club World Cup as well. He's not a player that makes mistakes. Third thing, now if he comes to Arsenal, we should take him. Another reason is because if you remember, Manchester City was the other club that wanted him at that point of time. So should we give him to Pep? No. Should we keep him? Yes, we can, because he's just 10 million. Even if it doesn't work out, we have spent a lot more money on shitty players like Mustafi and Socrates. Anyways, so the fourth point, when we get Pablo Mari, we have a chance of selling and offloading some of our other players. We know we don't want Mustafi and Socrates at the club. Get rid of them. We have Pablo Mari. We can survive 1 season with him and probably get more defenders in the next. Also, we get an option of getting rid of Rob Holding if we don't want him. So that gives us a good option. The last thing is, he's played very little and he hasn't played too much. So don't go on the hype of the fans. But based on what we have seen, he's looked quite stable. He's not looked like a player who'll just go down or who'll pick up an injury. So I think he looks decent, but he looks way better than Mustafi, Socrates, and Rob Holding.
Yeah, that I gotta agree. Yeah.
So I am not saying he's going to be a world-class defender. I'm not going to say he's going to be a top defender in the Premier League, but he's better than what we have. So I would take him for 10 million. It's a cheap deal, and we're not going to get such a deal anytime soon.
Yeah. Simpy?
Yeah, I agree with Nitesh, really. Obviously, Kevin and Nitesh both mentioned his price. I think, yeah, it's around the 10 million mark. We've already got him at the club. He's already here and kind of settled. He's the player Arteta wants, really like left-footed ball carrier. I think, like Nitesh said, 10 million for a centre-back of that level, that experience and that age is worth a punt. Like you said, bringing in Mustafi for a ridiculous fee, and we've all seen Mustafi. I think even if Murray's turns out bad in the end, 10 million's worth it. But I'd keep him. And like Cheddar said in the chat as well, if you remember the Club World Cup final, Flamengo versus Liverpool, he pocketed them all for, what was it, 115 minutes or something before they finally scored the Firmino goal. But yeah, I'd 100% keep Murray, 100% make his loan deal permanent.
Yeah, I would keep him too. Listen, I would keep him. I think I think that he would. Listen, we've not seen a great deal of him, but he's another option, and he's probably better than what we've got in that centre back area. What are people saying in the chat about Pablo Mari?
And can I just add one point to support you guys as well? That we have bought in a World Cup winner, okay, and that hasn't worked out for us. We have bought in a good, strong defender who wasn't at Dortmund, and that hasn't worked out for us. We have previously gotten players who have played, who represent Switzerland, who represent France. Kashori was okayish. I'm not saying he was the best, but he was good. But we have brought in all these big names that we expected to do good things. It's probably high time we try someone who's not that well known, who has possibly shown us previously that he can play, and probably that can work out for us better.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are people saying in the chat?
Yeah, so the chat is going crazy today. So yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Make sure everyone smashes like and subscribes to Daniel's channel. We've got lots of people. This is crazy, man. We've got Justice. So big up Justice saying Pablo Mari is someone we should keep. Arsenal Insights. Mari hasn't even conceded a goal yet. Big up Arsenal Fan Reviews. Revenite. Mari too soon to judge. I sign him for that low fee. Ilias. I would be open to keeping Mari and seeing him play more games. Jeez, man, this is crazy. There's loads of questions as well. Sam's asking if Daniel's ready to practice his Ozil song after seeing our table prediction last night.
Hey, listen, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and there's plenty of fat ladies in the world. So listen. So
is there any fat lady in that who wants to come on and sing? Anyone?
Yeah.
Big up them fat ladies.
And
big up to all the fat ladies in the chat. They've got feelings too, mainly hungry.
and Ilias has said Mari is the Spanish John Stones.
How can we say whether? And is John Stones, first of all, is he saying that John Stones is good or bad?
Probably bad or okay. It's okay, isn't it?
Okay-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
See, okay is still greater than shit. We got shit. We will do with fine with okay.
Oh yeah, and Sofian's mentioning, good point. So West Ham fan, big up Sofian. He's saying you saw him play one game against us, and he's put it in capital letters, us. We're going down. You can't say nothing about Mari yet.
Yeah.
He can just yeah. Go ahead, Daniel.
So yeah. Listen, Mari, I would keep him because he's still got shelf life as well, and I think he can be good. So listen, I'm gonna move on because we're still only on the defense. So what I'm gonna do is to speed things up a bit. Is I'm gonna put 3 defenders together, and I want you to tell me whether you'd keep them. So these ones are Mavropanos, Rob Holding, and Socrates. So I'm going to come to you, Nitesh, first.
So you asked us a rhetorical question and then you want a yes or no answer. So answer is no.
No. I don't want a yes or no answer. I just want you. I'm just putting 3 defenders together, just because obviously, we're still on the defense and we've literally got the midfield and everything to do as well. So
see, the only player that I think I would give probably a chance there would be Rob Holding, because he's been injured, and Socrates, Mavropanos, I don't even know him. If you guys hadn't mentioned him twice or thrice in the previous videos, I wouldn't even remember his name, because he's not important for Arsenal. But with respect to Socrates, the problem is he's one of those players like Kolasinac who doesn't use his head. He just has body and muscle but no brain. if he starts using that brain a bit more, probably he would have been a regular player for Arsenal. Because when he started off at Arsenal, he was really good. He looked very solid. He looked a threat. He looked like a player that would collide with you and challenge you for the ball and do everything. And then the only thing he did was the same things, but ending up by bringing the player down in the box. So I think if Socrates was a bit smarter, I would have kept him. But again, I have said this before. If we are not buying any new defender apart from Pablo Mari and just William Saliba coming in and probably a Cedric, then I would keep at least one of Mustafi or Socrates. So the only other player that I'm willing to give a chance is Rob Holding because he has been injury prone. Socrates is a bit tricky. Mavropanos, hell no.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what Nitesh just mentioned as well. Rob Holding, yeah, we all rated him when he was pretty much young, but as age caught up with him and injury things, I think that pretty just distracted his form and return as well. But he has some potential, but I'd keep him, I'd keep Rob Holding. And for Socrates, he kind of divides opinion, to be honest with you. Socrates, like Nitesh said, he doesn't use his brain. So if we sign another center back, apart from Saliba, Mari, and keeping David Luiz as well. So if we sign another defender, I'd probably get rid of Socrates. But if we don't, we have to keep him. But Mavropanos, I'm sorry, mate, you're down in the dumps. So yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. Socrates has till the end of this season to save his Arsenal career.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I agree. Simpy, what do you reckon to those three? Would you sell all of them, keep all of them, or would you keep Rob Holding? Or
I'd keep Holdini. I'd keep him for I'd keep him. I'd keep Holding.
Did you say Holdini?
Yeah, because remember that's what everyone was calling him on that run. But yeah, I'd keep Holding. Obviously injuries have been a bit annoying for him, but I want to see him come back. But the only thing is I'm worried if he comes back and then he gets injured again, or a big injury, or if he's going to be in and out all season. So yeah, I'd keep Holding out those three and let the old mistake guys getting them out.
See, the thing is as well with Holding though, he is injury prone, and that's what worries me. He's injury prone, and I'm not so sure. I sort of think that the boat, the boat sailed a little bit with Holding.
Yeah, and as I was saying, if he's gonna be holding Rob, that sounded so wrong.
Holding Rob. What are people saying in the chat?
So Sofian is saying I would keep Holding, to be fair. Omar saying Holding isn't good enough, get rid. Revenite, sell Socrates, keep Holding, sell Mavropanos. And then Cheddar's made a good point with Arsenal. A lot of defenders start off well, then fall off a cliff. There's some crazy chats going on with Taib as well, so I was laughing at them. Justice would sell Socrates. So when you're making the jokes about the fat ladies,
yeah.
Cheddar's has a joke. He said, "How do you get a fat woman into bed?"
She's the cushion.
She's the piece of cake. And then Tayi wants a fat lady now.
Fair enough.
Actually, I've tried that, and chocolates work better than cake.
Yeah, probably a McDonald's would work better as well. It can't.
A Big Mac.
A Big Mac. A Big Mac.
A Big Mac for the big girl. Come on.
Mac hump.
Is that a nickname for your manhood, Kevin? Is that how you make your porn career? It's like, come and taste my Big Mac,
Yeah, come on there. Got the
Mackham.
mustard, the mayonnaise already. Yeah.
Oh, gee. This stream just took a turn for the worse. Mind you, saying that this stream turns quicker than Socrates, so yeah, that's so yeah, do fire up them likes, people, and if you're new to the channel, do subscribe. Listen, let's go on to the other defenders now, and I'm gonna go with Kolasinac, because I think he's the one that's probably we know that Saka's not going anywhere, hopefully, and we know that Tierney's probably he's only just come in, so I'm guessing we've not really seen a lot of him as well. So yeah, let's go with Kolasinac. Nitesh, what would you do with Kolasinac?
I would keep him because we got chocolate hips and we got a kid who doesn't want to play as left back. So if we have two people who are not ready to, one person who's not ready to play at left back, and we got a guy who gets injured and probably will get influenced by Bellerin soon. So we need to keep a backup as well. And if you see last season when Tierney got injured, it didn't seem like anything. It was like it was just a push and he was like gone. He's gone for months. And so if that happens again, we can't rely on him for a season until he actually plays for a season. If he's able to prove himself and he's able to start every game from now until the end of the season, then probably I can rely that we can sell Kolasinac. But if that doesn't happen and we have to go back every 2 or 3 games to Kolasinac because this guy isn't fit, then I think we need to keep Kolasinac. And also it depends upon if you're signing any other left back or not. If you're signing any other left back, then probably Kolasinac can be sold. But if you're not signing any other left back, then I think unless Saka is ready to play as a left back regularly, we need another player there. And Kolasinac would be my guy.
Simpy, what would you do with Kolasinac?
Just this comment, not good enough being baby in a man's body. Just made me laugh so much. All right. Okay. Yeah, Kolasinac, tricky one. Because obviously, he's on really high wages. He started to pick up injuries recently now, but then we've got Kieran Tierney, who's also, as Nitesh mentioned, nicknamed Chocolate Hips. And he's always getting injured. And you've seen his injury record for someone only 24 years old. It's ridiculous. And then we've got Saka as backup potentially as well. But I'd get rid of Kolasinac. Yeah, he's on ridiculous wages. I'd say thanks for trying. Thanks for doing your bodyguard situation. But yeah.
I got one more joke now. How do you get a fat lady into bed? You give her chocolate hips.
It's hilarious. That's hilarious. Kevin, what would you do with Kolasinac?
Thomas the Tank.
Simpy's trying not to laugh. Simpy's trying not to laugh.
Yeah, after you mentioned the big shout out for chocolate hips, yeah. Put the chocolate in the hips.
Massive shout out to Chocolate Hips if you're watching. Yeah.
Yeah, Arsenal would probably come up with a competitive product called Chocolate Hips to challenge the chocolate chips in the market.
The thing is with Kolasinac as well is if we sell him, we could make a profit because we got him on a free. So if we got even if we got only 10 to 15 million for him, it's still a profit.
Yeah, but I would like to add one thing, Daniel. We need to remember that our entire defense is shit. If we sell everyone, then are we playing Granit Xhaka as left back and probably get in maybe who's the worst right winger? Maybe Reece Nelson starts playing right back from right wing. So are we trying to do that?
Jesus.
We can't sell our entire defense. We have to probably consider the fact that if Saka is not going to play left back, I need to keep Kolasinac till I get another left back. And that is how things need to be, because our priority will be getting a central midfielder and the priority will be having our centre back situation sorted out before we do all that. So I think those are the things that we need to focus on, and obviously attack with respect to Aubameyang and the stuff that is going around. So I think those are the priorities, and we're not going to waste time on selling Kolasinac right now. It could happen maybe next window.
Yeah, Big up the house phone is just ringing.
I think Kolasinac's agent is calling you now, Daniel.
Yeah. I think that's Klasenac's agent on the phone trying to negotiate a new contract.
Hello?
So yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to say as well, because I want to move on to the midfield, because listen, we've gone nearly an hour and we're still only on the defense. That's how shit our defense is. So yeah, big up to everybody in the chat. Do subscribe, do like, hit the like button, and do share the content and the channel around. So I'd really appreciate that.
Oh right, okay.
Let's go on to Torreira, and I'm going to start with Nitesh. What would you do with Torreira? Because obviously, bearing in mind that he does want to leave, he does want to leave. So big up the wife as well, making an entrance. So yeah, she's obviously heard about cake and stuff and come in the room like.
Fudge cake.
And she's not a fat lady by any stretch of the imagination, but she loves cake. So she's actually no, I better not say that because I'll probably get. Don't worry. Listen, I sort of filtered it then. So yeah, let's go on to Torreira. Sorry, Nitish, what would you do with Torreira?
Yeah, so I would probably say that if Tierney is chocolate hips, this guy is like Uncle Chips. But he gets injured. He gets injured at times because he overcommits in games. Because what I've seen is Kevin can't stop laughing now. Okay, so what I've seen now is he overcommits in games.
Simpy's seen a picture with Kolasinac with no clothes on. That's why he's laughing.
It's Kevin who's put himself on mute and he's laughing like really big time. But yeah, so what I was trying to say is that what happened. Wait, give me a sec. Yeah, what I was trying to say is Torreira is also as injury prone as Tierney, because what happens is Tierney has these issues, but Torreira overcommits himself in games, and he does more than 100% in some games. And then what happens is when the next game arrives, a couple of games later, he probably is injured and not fully fit to start for us. So that is why I think Unai Emery was playing Xhaka ahead of him, because Xhaka had no qualities in him. But the thing was that Xhaka does not get injured as often as Torreira. So if we are getting a Thomas Partey and another midfielder, probably a Doucouré or someone who can actually regularly play for us, Torreira would be the best backup that we can have. He's not going to start games for us, but he'll be a great backup. But if you are trying to have a midfield overhaul, then probably Torreira will be the first one gone because he wants to leave.
Simpy, Torreira, what would you do with him?
Yeah, I've seen some people post the same thing in the chat as well. We've seen the links. I think it was like last season when Emery, or January perhaps, when Emery was, maybe last summer actually, when Emery decided to play him as a number 10 and he wasn't happy, you could tell. And then he's been flirting, with, who said it? I can't remember someone said it in the chat. Oh, Justice. Yeah, said he's always flirting with other clubs. We've seen the reports saying he wants to go back to Italy. Then we've seen the reports about AC Milan. Then we've seen people saying he's not tall enough and strong enough. I like Torreira as a player. Like, we've seen him get stuck in at like the North London Derby and other games like that. And then we saw him at the World Cup for Uruguay, where he was a completely different player. But yeah, if we can bring in someone like Partey, then I'd say goodbye to Lucas Torreira.
Kevin, what would you do with Torreira?
Yeah,
and I don't mean in a dirty way. I mean like selling him or blooming keeping him.
No, Uncle Chips. No banging Uncle Chips. No. But this Uncle Chips, he's been on and off, and he's surplus to requirement for us, to be honest, and he can be a good squad player. I would say that. I'd give him that. But if you get a Thomas Partey in, That is a big if. But if we don't, we just gotta stick with him. We just gotta stick with him. I know he ain't good enough, but I know he wants to leave, but who else can we get apart? If we never get Thomas Partey, who else can we get? Because our club is running on like lack of ambitions and stuff like that. Okay, at least just keep these guys. Just keep this guy, because this guy, although he's been having an up and down season, he has that one or two good games, and that's about it. Then he goes missing for the rest of the games and stuff. But he's a pretty much just a normal player, I would say. He's not all that. He's not a superstar. He's not an upcoming or something. No, he's not all that. But he's just going to be surplus to requirement. He's just going to be playing second fiddle. But I'm really hoping that we get Thomas Partey in, so that we can get a good value of money for what we invested, the 20-odd million that we invested for Torreira, and just get the Partey deal done.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
You know what I want to just add from what I've seen so far? Torreira and Tierney must probably go home, go to their girlfriends, probably have sex with them, and come out injured. That's how fragile they are. So
Big up to
I feel
21 people. Big up to 21 people watching live.
Yeah, so they are the kind of players that really need to work on their fitness and become more stronger, because this is the Premier League. This is not the third division.
Yeah.
See, as bad as cold. And yeah, so what I was trying to say is, if those guys can't work on their fitness, probably every time they have a tough game against a smaller team, they'll be gone for weeks. They'll be watching sitting at home and watching Red Tube rather than playing on Arsenal TV.
Well,
My gang.
Yeah.
listen, Kevin is an expert on RedTube. We know that. Kevin
Yeah.
would rather watch RedTube than watch YouTube. He's just...
No, better than watching Arsenal, I would say, in current
Yeah.
circumstances.
I got one more. Ozil is the one who plays fortnight, but these guys play once in a fortnight.
Jeez, man, your jokes.
Yeah, we see you've got Kevin watching RedTube. You've got Simpy having a strangle wank with Ozil's scarf. You've got Blooming. You've got Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
This
and
panel is-
I got my nose running more than my dick.
Oh man.
Oh, dude. So where did we get to? So, Torreira. We got to Torreira. Your jokes, Simpy.
Get rid of that Ozil scarf, Simpy.
Yeah. See that Ozil scarf. See.
It's upstairs.
Burn
Oh
it.
yeah. See that just
Burn it.
confirms what I said about the strangle wank. Just the Ozil scarf is upstairs. Yeah.
Guys and girls in the chat, don't picture it. It looks horrible.
Yeah, how to get a fat lady into bed? Put a Ozil scarf on the bed.
Simpy, I think you better do that, man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So let's move on to Nitesh's favorite player, which is Granit Xhaka. And let's start with Nitesh. Xhaka, what would you do with Xhaka?
I've spoken more about Granit Xhaka than is probably his own wife. So obviously I would sell him. There's no two ways about it. I don't care how much he has improved. When you have a third grade player, the maximum that he can go is only this much. Lucas Torreira, I'll give you an example. Lucas Torreira won't grow an inch. I mean, not at least over his head, even if he is playing at 100%. So the same thing goes for Granit Xhaka as well. He may grow inches at other places, but not over his head. So the same thing applies for Granit Xhaka as well. There is a level. There is a level as to how much his 100% is, and that 100% isn't good enough for Arsenal, so he needs to go.
Before I come to you, Kevin, what are people saying in the chat?
Okay. So
Deep breath. Deep
we've got
breath.
about 200 laughing emojis. We got big up to, where is it? Big up to Mr. Bungle. Big up to Chris Gaming Nancaro. Big up to, where's he gone? Green Picture, Tyrone. Big up to, where's he gone? Paul Dovingnu. Hope you're all well. Yeah, it's just a lot of people laughing. Revenite said, yeah, get that useless sack of XXX. Xhaka out. Omar saying, sorry, he's not good enough, get him out. Justice said he'll throw Xhaka in his toilet and crap on him.
And I just want to add one thing. Omar, you don't need to say sorry. He's just not good enough. That's a fact.
Nitesh, I got one question, bro. You said Tini is chocolate hips, Uncle Chips for Torrent. So Granit Xhaka, what special name you got for him? I can't wait to hear it, man.
He's a rotten McDonald's burger.
Why do you have to take a dig on my favorite food, man?
Because that's how much you understand and can relate to it. How bad a rotten McDonald's burger is.
Oh, man. Daniel just had a McDonald's, man.
Can I just say something that there's one problem with Granit Xhaka being a rotten McDonald's burger, because when you've eaten a rotten McDonald's burger, when it's digested and get into your bowels, even that has more movement than Granit Xhaka.
You need to remember one thing, Daniel, that Kevin is having some kind of drink.
It's red, but it's Coke. It's not red too.
Yeah, is that to flush through the Granit Xhaka rotten McDonald's burger?
I might as well have Granit Xhaka pills and laxatives. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so Kevin, what would you do with Granit Xhaka?
Bin him. He belongs in the bin. No question asked. There's no interrogation, nothing, no explanation, nothing. He just deserves to be in the bin.
That is exactly why I also said rotten McDonald's, because that is what happens to rotten McDonald's as well, in the bin.
Yep.
Simpy, what would you do with Granit Xhaka?
So I'd keep him. Then I'd build a statue outside the stadium.
Yeah.
I'd get rid of him.
Arsenal could save money on building a statue. They just get Granit Xhaka to stand outside the Emirates every home game.
Yeah, and probably the best use of that statue would be that birds come on it and shit, like they did on Ashley Young.
What do you think of Xhaka? Shit.
Yeah. Unless you get AFTV where they stand outside the statue, so they'll probably congregate outside Granit Xhaka, next to Granit Xhaka.
Yeah. Let's not waste time on Xhaka. He's wasted enough of our lives as well, and life's time as well already. So I think we should probably just throw him out quietly without wasting time on him.
Okay, so let's move on then. Guendouzi. And I'm going to start with Simpy. I'm going to start with you.
Guendouzi. Gonna keep Guendouzi, but it's a tricky one really, because I like him and don't like him at the same time because of the way he holds onto the ball too much and he's a bit clumsy and he just runs around the pitch like a headless chicken. But then the argument you could put against there, which I'm sure some people in the chat will have a go at me about it, is he's come from the French League 2 and he's obviously played way more games than anyone and probably himself expected. But yeah, more time to come, a couple of years, and hopefully it'll be the Guendouzi that we first saw hit the scene. So yeah, definitely keep Guendouzi.
Kevin, what would you do with Guendouzi?
I'd keep him. I'd only consider selling Guendouzi if PSG, like initially, because PSG were linked with Guendouzi at one point and they were bidding about like 50 million or something. But if we get those type of figures for a bit of those type of players that we have, I'd probably sell him. But in current situation, he's one of the upcoming young prospects. I'd keep him, I'd keep him. But unless if a ridiculous offer comes to the table, and then we are talking about maybe selling him or offloading him. But in the meantime, I don't think so any massive offer is going to come, so I'd rather keep him.
Yeah, Nitesh, Guendouzi.
I find it funny that the Arsenal fans say that we need to keep Saka because he's going to be a long-term player for us. We need to keep Guendouzi. He's going to be a long-term great for us. Which was the last long-term player or long-term legend that Arsenal even created? I mean, how long ago that was? So I don't think this system, the current situation at the club, is good enough for any player to become a club legend or a long-term prospect. The only thing that happens is if they become better than what they are right now, they'll probably leave at that point of time. So what I feel is, yeah, if we are getting a good enough swap deal or good enough money for Guendouzi, I would take it. If you're not, then probably we'll keep him and see how he develops. If there is a possibility of sending him out on loan, I would consider that as well for one season and then bring him back.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, it's a bit, the situation at Arsenal is a bit like dating a woman for about 6 or 7 years. And then in the 7th year, she's mastered the art of blowjobs, and then she fucks off the year after. So, that's the best way to describe situation at Arsenal.
Yeah,
great analogy.
And the only way we can have legends is Arsenal if we go to the dictionary and please request them that legend should mean shit. If we want to make any more legends now, that is what I mean.
So that's Daniel. That sparked loads of debate in the chat.
What which one?
Guendouzi.
Guendouzi. What are the people saying?
Well, I'll read out this joke that Sam said. If you have constipation, just watch Xhaka and you will shit like an oiled goose. So we got Justice. I think Justice thinks that Guendouzi is one of our best players because he's put it a few times in the chat. You joker, Justice. Omar would keep Guendouzi. Revanite, keep Guendouzi, has a lot to learn. Omar, yeah, Guendouzi, good player, just needs to work on awareness and discipline. Arsenal Vlogs, Guendouzi keep because he is good around the future and he just needs to stop running like a chicken and release the ball quicker. Don't be dramatic. Yeah, true Arsenal Vlogs. Cheddars, look how young Guendouzi is. There's plenty of time for him to develop. Because Steve Wismark, Guendouzi, one of our biggest prospects. He was the reason we beat Villa, being a man down. What he needs is for Arteta to take him aside and coach him. Way too much potential to throw away. Tyrone, Guendouzi will develop a lot under Deschamps and maybe Arteta. Ilias would sell Guendouzi if a decent bid comes in, otherwise he'd keep him. Yeah, so that's everyone in the chat, I think. Is it?
Yeah, and I'm just going to say this as well because I haven't given my reaction to Granit Xhaka or Guendouzi. So I'm going to start with Granit Xhaka. Yeah, I would sell him. He's not good enough. Although saying that, I will probably keep him for this year simply because of the situation with the pandemic. And listen, if we're not going to replace him, then we've got to keep hold of him. But as soon as we can, get rid of him at the earliest opportunity. And Guendouzi, I think Guendouzi has a lot of potential. I think that he just needs to mature a bit, and under Arteta's guidance, I think he could probably do that. I mean, you just look at, I don't want to keep banging on about this, but you look at the situation with Sterling. Sterling couldn't hit a barn door. Do you know what I mean? And then as soon as Arteta started coaching him, he was more consistent and more clinical. So, listen, Arteta's probably the best person that can coach and nurture young players.
Yeah,
and Guendouzi is still at that age. Guendouzi is still at that age where you can probably coach the mistakes out of him. I mean, when you take something like Granit Xhaka, there's no coaching the mistakes out of him. You're better off just trying to focus on his strengths rather than his weaknesses. And I think that's what Arteta's doing. I think like with Granit Xhaka, he's not trying to coach him into doing something differently. I think he's just saying, listen, you're good at this, so this is what I want you to do, and I don't want you to do anything else.
Yeah, and probably saying, just do one thing, don't fuck up. Don't try to be a hero. Just be a normal midfielder and we'll probably do fine. And with respect to Guendouzi, I hope it's Arteta that pulls him to the side and coaches him, not Bellerin. And one last thing I just wanted to add with respect to keeping Granit Xhaka at the club. The only thing that the reason I may keep Granit Xhaka at the club is so that possibly if the pandemic comes towards Arsenal, it will see this footballer is shit. I better run away from Arsenal before he does something to me.
Yeah. And okay, so let's go on to
Simpy's favorite player.
let's go on to Danny Ceballos. No, I'm going to go on to Danny Ceballos. Yeah, I'm going to go on to Danny Ceballos because listen, I am going to come on to Ozil, but listen, I want to come on to Danny Ceballos first because obviously his loan spell is coming to an end. So would you extend it, or would you say, listen, sorry, didn't work out, goodbye? I'm going to come to Simpy first.
So God, that's a tricky one, really, because that's another one where some people will say keep, some people will say get rid. So what's his price if we want to sign him?
30 odd million.
30 odd million. So one of the debates is can we get better for 30 million? And also, what do you want to sign? What do you want to sign for like a permanent deal, knowing that in his head he will be disappointed that Madrid let him go? I think shaking your head, Nitesh. Yeah,
he won't. If he signs for us, he won't be disappointed that Madrid let him go because obviously he'll know that he's leaving Madrid.
But other than what was it? Was it the Burnley game where he did like 30 spins in the same position?
Yeah, he played like Cazorla in that.
Yeah,
game.
he just kept going like this the whole time, like just every time he got the ball, just spinning around in his seat. Yeah, crap, my toe. Oh Jesus.
You just did a Granit Xhaka.
What the hell was that about?
Yeah, what were you doing, Simpy?
Exactly what happened to Ceballos after the Burnley game.
Yeah, he spent too much and he's been average the rest of the season.
I stubbed my toe on the desk, and I could see. I'd get rid. I wouldn't sign him. I'd sign someone else.
Kevin, what would you do with Ceballos?
Yeah, I'd probably just get rid, because Madrid's demands are about 30 odd million. And do you want to really invest up to 30 odd million for a player that's been like inconsistent? Because he's been having 1 or 2 good games and that's about it. And he just go anonymous most of the time. He's never been playing pretty much well. He's been average. And yeah, I don't think so, because he expressed his desire as well to return to Spain. I think I'm not sure which club has he been linked to, but it seems that he wants to go back to Spain. And at Arsenal, I don't think so. We want to welcome a player who doesn't want to be at Arsenal, that wants to go back to Spain. So I'd rather just get rid.
Yeah, Natish, what would you do with Danny Ceballos?
And before I go to that, I just want to say, everyone in the comments, that's exactly Simpy what he did was Danny Ceballos' entry into Arsenal. He was looking good. Suddenly he turned and he got injured. So that is about how Danny Ceballos' career at Arsenal has been in like 10 seconds. One more thing, with respect to Danny Ceballos, if he fires his hairstylist, I'll probably keep him. That new hairstyle looks like shit. So he needs to fire his hairstylist. Apart from that, he is a very crisp passer. His passing is the best right now in the Arsenal midfield. He can play the normal passing ball. He was playing well. He was trying to play some of the through balls. His accuracy is good. His passing is good. He needs to work a bit on the finishing part of things and the final ball, but that can be corrected under Arteta. So I would keep him because all our other midfielders are not good enough. So we need a player like Ceballos, and we are not going to sign anyone in his position. The only player we are probably looking at there is Coutinho. If we are getting a cam as Coutinho, then the problem is solved. Coutinho and Partey, then we don't have an issue. But if you're not getting either one of them, either if we get Coutinho, then the cam problem is solved. If we get Partey, then the problem of the box-to-box player will be solved by either some of the players around him, like a Guendouzi or someone else. But if we are not getting either one of those, then we need to keep hold of Ceballos.
Yeah, listen, I actually I personally think we should let him go. I don't think he's. Listen, I think I don't think he wants to stay at Arsenal. I think he's made that quite clear, and you can see that when Arteta come in, as soon as Ceballos was fit and ready to play, he wasn't getting played. So yeah, I would personally send him back and just probably try and use that money in wages or to try and put towards a party or something like that. What are people saying in the chat on Ceballos Simpy?
So we got latest one that came in is Arsenal Vlogs. Ceballos, I would sell him because he had one good game. That was against Burnley. To be honest, the only way I'd keep him if we can get him for 20 million. You'd let him go back to Madrid as he wants to go there. Revanite, buy Ceballos. Omar, Ceballos can holler back to Madrid. Zidane's been saying a lot, saying keep.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Zidane's trolling us because I think he's a Man City fan. So he could be using reverse psychology there. So well done, Zidane, if that's true.
Yeah, we'll come back to you when Ceballos scores 2 goals against Man City, and then you'll be telling us to keep him. You know.
Then you'll be probably crying in a corner.
Yes.
Yeah, Jahid, we've just done Ceballos.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to everyone's favourite player, Mesut Ozil. And I'm going to start with Stimpy because you've got a scarf of him.
Ozil.
Where's the scarf, Sippy? Where's the scarf? You do this
It's
every
upstairs. I should have brought it down, but yeah.
Probably
Right,
put it in
okay.
the wash after a strangle wank. You know, put it in the wash.
I'd burn it, man. I'd burn it.
Burn it.
You can use it as a temporary ashtray or something.
So, Simpy,
Right.
what would you do? What would you do with Mesut Ozil?
So what I would do, this is the thing, this is never going to happen. So I'd sign him for 10 more years, build a statue outside, and then the only way you can get into the Emirates if you've got an Ozil tattoo. If you don't have an Ozil tattoo, you have to get out.
Yeah.
No, personally, what I'd do, but this is never going to happen. It probably wouldn't have happened even if coronavirus didn't happen. But I would have got rid of him in January, or get rid of him in this summer, just to some like random, either like Fenerbahce or some MLS team, or even Chinese team. But now, because of everything that's happened in the world, he won't go to China now.
And he ain't going to
MLS.
China. He ain't going to China anyway. He's already
what he
burnt
did.
his bridges with
Yeah,
China.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I'd get rid of him, but we all know for a fact he's gonna sit in his tasty little contract, earn loads of money, and then just chill. And then as soon as it's time to go, he'll go and do whatever he wants to do. But yeah, no one's gonna pay his huge wages and his huge everything. Yeah, but goodbye, Mesut Ozil. I know Daniel, Kevin, Nitesh, Melina, Sam, and everyone will start crying when he leaves. But don't cry, guys. Don't cry. We've got Mustafi.
Nitesh, what would you do?
How could you sell your favorite player whose scarf you sleep with every night? I mean, how could you do this, Sippy?
He's going to join my football club, Simpy FC. I'll pay him £3.50 an hour instead of £3.50 a week instead of 350k a week.
You would seriously waste that much money on Ozil? I wouldn't pay him a penny. Yeah. So, anyways,
I'll probably buy him a Big Mac, and that's about it. You know, I'll buy him a Big Mac and say, "There you go."
Yeah, a big rotten Mac probably, so that he can sit in the toilet for the whole week. If Mesut Ozil, see, the thing between Mesut Ozil and Granit Xhaka is I don't know which one is worse. So which player is worse for Arsenal right now? But the thing is, one is a former captain, and the second one will never be a captain. That is about that, because Ozil is not the Ozil that he used to be at Real Madrid. When he started off at Arsenal, he was fairly good, and he has given us whatever he had, like whatever quality he had left. Whether it was world class, whether it was great, whether it was good, that all those qualities are gone now. Now the only thing that he's good enough for is worth a conversation where he can fit in. The only place he can fit in is in probably a debate or a conversation of how bad he is or not. So that's the only place that he's getting into the starting 11 if we ever want Ozil around. But apart from that, he's done with respect to Arsenal. It's high time. If they were typing bye-bye for Ceballos, I think Ozil deserves to go before Ceballos, but the problem is no one will buy him. So I would do what Simpy said, give him a 10-year deal, and at the end of the contract mention that do not come back to Arsenal for at least 10 years, and then he will sign it.
Yeah. Can I just quickly say as well, I think we upset all the Ozil fanboys because most the chats dropped down from 20 to 13. So yeah, apologies Ozil fanboys, but if you're after positivity about Ozil, then yeah, maybe this stream is not for you. And Kevin, what would you do with Ozil?
Call Manchester United. Call Manchester United. Do you want another Alexis Sanchez?
Yeah, I'd probably do that. Get him to Manchester United. I, Simpy, Nitesh, Daniel, even you can join in. We'll just start a GoFundMe page and just send him off to Manchester United, Just send him off. Because we don't want him here. We literally don't want him. Because
go fund me or go fuck me?
He probably fuck himself, mate. He probably fuck himself. Just go fund me. Go fuck himself up. Seriously, he literally fucked up his career and he's not good enough. Let's end his career. Put him out of his misery.
Oh God.
That's it. Done.
That's hilarious. See, the thing is with Ozil as well is he's past his sell-by date, And I said I don't want to see any other player walk out this club for free. But if he left this club for free next season, I'll tell you something now. I would cheer him off the blooming premises.
Yeah, and I remember someone asking me that what was your reaction when they gave the clapping goodbye to Wenger. I was like, I was clapping. Obviously, he was leaving the club. I couldn't be happier. So same goes for Ozil.
Yeah.
Clap him up.
Yeah, clap him up.
When Wenger said in his speech that he'd done at the Emirates Stadium, he said, "I will miss you." I bet most of that stadium was like, "Well, we won't miss you."
Like, really?
We missed enough chances to miss you now.
Yeah, I'll miss you, Wenger. I'll miss you like a wart on my ass. So yeah, what are the chat saying on Ozil? I pretty much know what most of the chat are going to say.
Yeah, so we got in the chat we've got Sam Greenwood saying we should keep Ozil for another 5 years. We've got Omar saying we should keep him for 10 years. Justice is saying keep him for 3 years. Ilias saying keep him for 2 years. And Revanite said we've got to keep him for 5 years at least, and he couldn't be assistant manager. And Steve as well said keep him for 10 years at least. So yeah, Daniel, I think everyone wants to keep him. That's
you lot are jokers.
I'm a bit confused. Daniel, did you ask about Ozil or their girlfriends? They all want to keep him for 5 years.
Yeah, I think they were on about his girlfriend. Mind you, his girlfriend or his wife probably doesn't get any action because he's always out with back injuries. So
now we know who's hammering and smashing his back.
Yeah, unless she's riding shotgun on top of it. You know what I mean?
He's getting fucked. He's getting fucked.
Go fuckme.com.
Fake taxi.
Yeah, he probably is. And then you just got 3 people coming out with knives, sort of once he's done the business. And
yeah,
oh man,
probably that is why they were getting mugged, because they were shooting an episode of Fake Taxi.
I knew it.
Yeah, his wife being double teamed by him and Kolasinac. Yeah, that's what.
Let's probably
Gangbang FC.
Let's probably
sorry, Arteta. Sorry, Arteta. It's just a bonding session,
Let's
jeez.
probably not go into the personal stuff. Otherwise, Ozil may send us a crying message or something like Granit Xhaka, and then he'll have an excuse to do some shit on the pitch, and then blame it on us four. I saw your video, and this is why I'm showing you the finger, fans.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So let's move on to. I'm not going to do Pepe or Martinelli simply because they've only just come to the club, and I can't see the club selling them yet. So listen, I'm guessing you guys will keep both of them anyway. I'm going to go on to Lacazette.
Okay. Should I
And
go first?
I'm going to start with Nitesh. Yeah, Lacazette.
Keep. I'm keeping him.
Was that only because it's on the back of your shirt?
No, this one is a Fabregas one. This is an old
I
one.
get
It's not that one. But anyways, yeah, I would keep him. Yeah, because he's on the back of my shirt, and I want to wear that shirt. I want to wear that shirt for a couple of years more at least.
Can I just say as well? Can I just say
Yeah.
quickly as well? I never ever understand why people get players' names and numbers on the back of their shirt. For the simple fact being that when that player leaves the club, that shirt's out of date, and then you walk round looking like a total bellend with an ex-player on your shirt, especially if they've gone to Man United or Tottenham or somewhere like that.
Well, what I can do is use a marker and write Lacazette below. Lacazette was here. So I mean, it probably looks bad, but at least it's on the back, not somewhere else. Anyways, so what I was trying to say is, yeah, I think he has had a bad season, but overall, based on his performances for Arsenal, he's a good, handy second striker. He's not the primary striker or the primary goal scorer. That is Aubameyang, obviously. But as a second player who can gel in a bit with the team and provide some goals and some assists, I think Lacazette brings that. And as I have said this often, we need a man in that attacker amongst those kids. And Aubameyang, I'm going to call a kid because he doesn't have the physicality as well. So we need a man amongst those kids to actually be there in games against teams which actually want to push us around and fight with us and don't want to play good football. They just want to rough and tough. They have a rough and tough attitude, maybe like Stoke City back in the day. So we need a player like Lacazette to be there and to actually give those guys a fitting reply and probably harass their defenders as well. So if we lose Lacazette, we need to do that with a player probably like Dembele coming in. If we get a replacement like that, then Lacazette can go. But if not, then I want him to stay.
Yeah, Kevin Lacazette.
Yeah, I'd keep him for now, because he's literally the only striker that can hold up play. I think that's what Nitesh mentioned, because he's the only player. Aubameyang doesn't hold up play, but the only thing with Lacazette is he's often being played in the middle, and that's if you have like a bad patch of games or bad run of games, I'd reckon you just to be like dropped off first and give Aubameyang the chance, because he's an out and out center forward, but he's being wasted in the wing. Yeah, granted, he scored a lot of goals in the wing, but his position, I believe that Lacazette's presence is probably just having probably also is affecting Aubameyang's goal scoring records as well, because he's a good striker. If I were to keep both of them, I'd probably, which is likely. The thing is, I want them to play together. I want them to play together instead of like having one on the bench and another one sacrificed on the wing or something. No, I don't really think that thing is working. But in terms of Lacazette, I'd keep him because his hold-up play is pretty much vital for us, and we don't have any other player that can hold up the play up front.
Yeah, and one thing I would like to just add, if you go and watch all the goals that Aubameyang is scoring in the games that Lacazette is playing, maybe around half of those goals, there has been some kind of contribution from Lacazette even this season, whether it may not be exactly the assist, but it may be a pass or two before the assist came in. So you need to see that he's working in the build-up to the play. Just because he's not into the numbers does not mean that he is totally shit. Yes, he is not the same kind of player that he was last season. That is agreed. There is no doubt about it. But if he's contributing or if he's coming back to help the defense out, which is also seen and some people have pointed it out, if he's doing that, then he's contributing in some way or the other, which Aubameyang does not. And we need one player at least in the squad who can do that. So if that is Lacazette, Aubameyang also has done that under Arteta to an extent on the left wing when he has come back to assist Saka. So if Lacazette is doing that, then we also need to see that it's just not about the numbers, it's also about the other kind of contributions that Lacazette gets involved in. And we're not going to play two strikers up front, that is for sure. We're not going to play that with Dembele as well. And if Dembele comes in, again, the same thing will happen. Aubameyang is going to be on the wings.
Yeah. Simpy, what would you do with Lacazette?
Before I get started, I'm just going to let you know the COVID-19 tests that the Premier League do, like on a weekly basis. Results have just come in for today's one, and there was only one positive case out of the whole 1,119 samples. So just one person, which is quite good.
News. Fantastic news.
Do we know who was that?
Not yet, but I'm sure we'll find out in the rest of the day or tomorrow. I
think they got confused because that one positive test is probably I think they mixed up Granit Xhaka's STI test with a COVID-19 test, and that's where the positive tests come out.
But the thing is, Daniel, Granit Xhaka would probably kill an STD before the STD can kill him.
We're going to be in court over Xhaka. He's going to sue us all on this after this video. Right. So, Lacazette. Pretty much Kevin and Nitesh have mentioned pretty much everything. Obviously, like his hold-up play is something we don't have. Strikers, like going forward, if you look at like the stats as well, like Nitesh was saying, he's one of the who gets the assists. Aubameyang's only on the one assist this season in the Premier League.
Yeah.
If the only way I'd probably look at selling Lacazette is probably if it was something to do with Partey. Like I'm sure you guys would take if we could get Partey for Lacazette, I'm pretty sure majority of people in the chat and you guys would say yes. But I think if we had the choice between Aubameyang or Lacazette, who would sign and who would go, we'd probably all choose Aubameyang. But I'd look at keeping Lacazette as long, depending on the situation, basically.
One more thing I would just like to add, you let go of Ramsey already. Okay, so your creative midfielder is gone now. You don't have a creative midfielder. Now you're going to let go of the creative striker as well, the second striker. If you're letting all the creative players leave, who's going to create for you? Granit Xhaka and Mesut Ozil.
Yeah, well, it's referring back to what you mentioned actually about Lacazette. You go in, this is not my argument, this is what Mesut Ozil fans argue. So you said Lacazette, it's the ball before the assist, it's him.
Yeah.
That's what Ozil fans say. It's the ball
pre-assist,
before, the pre-assist. So that's an argument that you mentioned that they could probably come towards you. So watch out, Nitesh, they're coming.
Nah. Ozil has played Ozil has probably played not more than 2 to 3 pre-assists as well. He's nowhere near, so I'm not worried about it. The only thing that he has played, maybe he has assist on, is probably getting his friends some chicks. and Lacazette balloons.
See, for me, I would. I don't know. Lacazette's a tricky one because if it meant getting Partey as part of a swap deal, I'll do that all day long. But obviously, if Aubameyang leaves, then we've got to keep hold of him because we cannot let both of our top strikers leave the club at the same time. So yeah, what are people saying in the chat about Lacazette?
So Tyrone's made a point. He said, if Lacazette plays well next season, Arsenal fans will start to back him again. And
why next season? One sec. Why next season? This season. The season isn't over yet. If he can actually turn things around, like as Simpy also knows, that he was scoring some goals before the pandemic hit. And if he can do that after the games restart, obviously they will back him. Arsenal fans at times don't have any kind of thought process. They suddenly see something and they stick to that. So there is some problem with respect to that. But if Lacazette can perform from now until the end of the season, they will all start backing him again.
Okay. And then, Arsenal blog said Lacazette would get rid of him. He doesn't show that consistency on the football pitch. And if we do keep Aubameyang for next season, I would swap Lacazette and use money on Partey and don't sell both. Ilias, I would do the swap deal in a heartbeat. Party is the player we need in midfield. Lacazette hasn't worked out. We need to get Dembele or Edouard in. So that's on the Revenite. Ilias is saying, yeah, Nketiah's got potential, improve his hold-up play. And Sam Greenwood TV, big up Sam, he said Aubameyang and Laka would work well in a 4-4-2, but for some reason, for some stupid reason, modern managers forget that this formation exists. And Tyrone,
and we don't have a proper cam as well. So why are we trying to play other players as cam when we can probably change the formation a bit? But then you need to understand one thing. Arteta has come from City. City plays the same formation, 4-2-3-1. So that is what he's going to play at Arsenal as well. So unfortunately, whether we want him to play a 4-4-2 or not, he's going to play the same formation because that's what he has done all his life at Manchester City as well, and under Wenger as well.
Okay. Yeah, and Justice was saying we should go back for Ramsey.
Yeah, no, I think that boat sailed with Ramsey. I think if we had him back, it would just be like taking a step backwards.
Yeah, and Sam had that debate with me yesterday for a few minutes. Like, Ramsey is a great player and he was world class towards the end of his last 2 years. I thought he was a good player. He's not a world class player. He never was a world class player. He's a great player, and I stick with that. So we lost him. That is a problem. But now his wages at Juventus are 400k. If we could afford his wages before, we can't afford them right now. So he's not coming back.
Yeah. We got to 21 people in the chat live. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And do smash a like on this video and also share the channel and content around. So let's go on to Aubameyang, because obviously I think I know what everyone would say. So listen, I'm going to start with Simpy. What would you do with Aubameyang?
Aubameyang, does anyone know what Aubameyang's on at the moment? Like wages-wise, it's like 180. It's not that high, I think.
180.
100% keep Aubameyang. But like I was mentioning before, don't go crazy on his wages. So I think I don't think many people disagree saying get rid of him. But yeah, I'd keep Aubameyang, up his wages to something maybe around the like 220 mark or something, and give him some more like maybe clauses in his contract for like bonuses or something.
Bonus, yeah.
Or just don't go crazy.
The problem you've got there is if you offer him 220, he's going to turn around and go, well, why is Ozil getting 350 grand a week and I provide more than what Ozil does on the pitch?
Yeah, then they can say.
Yeah, probably we should give him a 3-year deal with a Ozil fuck off clause, where he gets more money once Ozil fucks off, and probably a Granit Xhaka and a Mustafi fuck off clause as well. When those two guys leave, you get another additional bonus. And I just want to add one thing. Yeah, Justice, City plays 4-3-3, but they actually play it like a 4-2-3-1. So I missed that up. Yeah, they play a 4-3-3. That's correct.
God, what was I can't remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, Ozil. Yeah, so Ozil's just on that wages we mentioned before. I think on Arsenal FC fans video, it was like, what was it, like 200k's down to P Ozil, and then the 150k's down to the player. But yeah, 100% sign Aubameyang. But people in the chat saying otherwise. Well, giving us reasons.
Yeah, Kevin, what would you do with Aubameyang?
Keep him. Goal scorer, finisher. It's all what we need right now. It's a main concern. It's not a concern right now, because we have a good striker who is literally banging in 20, 30 goals a season, and that's what's needed right now. And if we don't have a player that's not going to score 20 or 30 goals, we are going to have like a kid running in the show in the like of Martinelli. Is that what we want? I don't think so, because we need this guy, and he's been proving it in many leagues, scoring the odd 20 and the odd 30 consistently, and that's why we need to sign him up. And like Simpy mentioned, because we cannot be going overboard by giving him the ridiculous amount of wages. And I agree with the Nitesh part, whereby you have to put that Ozil fuck off clause and Granit Xhaka fuck out clause and also Mustafi fuck out clause, and most likely the entire recruitment board fuck out clause as well. So put all together in and then give him a 350,000 wage packet, and then when he expires or something, then we can tell him to fuck off later.
See,
Or
I would-
probably, I have one more idea. We should probably promise Aubameyang that once you get around 40, 45, we'll give you a statue outside the stadium with a big dick, so that all the girls watch the look at the statue and they say, "Oh my God, I want to be with Aubameyang," even though he's 40, 45. So he'll have a good fan base in the Arsenal chicks, and he'll be happy at being at Arsenal for a long time. But on a serious note, if we can keep Aubameyang and restrict his contract to a certain number of ages, we should keep him. Otherwise, it's high time to say goodbye. Thank you for the memories, but we need to let you go.
Yeah, and listen, I would, if he won't sign the contract, I would sell him. But if he signs the contract, then yeah, maybe give him a 2-year deal, which will obviously take him up to 3 years again, because he's obviously got 1 year left. What are people saying in the chat about Aubameyang?
So we've got Arsenal Vlogs. Aubameyang, I think, will go. When he said Aubameyang will go to Chelsea or Real Madrid. He has gone. Our fan base needs to calm down, stop getting gassed. Aubameyang, get rid of him because we know he is going to go. So yeah, get some money for him. Ilias, I would keep Auba, but if he wants to leave, then we have to sell him. We can't keep allowing our players to leave for free. It's pathetic. And we can't let him go to a rival team. Revenai, I think you guys need to keep Auba. I hope he will sign. And Justice thinks that Martinelli can get us 20 goals a year, but he just needs the chance. And then, Ilias has mentioned about Auba will only stay if we get top 4. And there's only one person on this panel that think we can get top 4, and it's Daniel.
Yeah, I do think I don't listen. I think we'll qualify for the Champions League, but I don't. We might even only need to do it in 5th place. I don't think. I don't think we'll make top 4, but I do think we could get there if that 5th place becomes available due to obviously Man City, or whatever happens with Man City.
Daniel,
yes,
you have to confess your dying love to Ozil. Then there's no other way, man. There's no turning back. You'll have to sing the Mesut Ozil song.
Listen, I'll tell you, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and I can tell you, it's still the season's not finished. Mathematically, it's still possible. So probably, listen, I'm going to concede this. Probably we won't do it, but listen, while it's mathematically still possible, you've got to believe it. You've got to be optimistic, and if it doesn't happen, then you've sort of prepared yourself, haven't you? You've sort of gone, okay, we probably knew it wasn't going to happen, but you've got to go. What's the point in supporting Arsenal or backing this club if you don't have hope? Do you know what I mean? And if it doesn't happen, then fair dues. It doesn't happen. We just move on to next season.
We have hope. We have hope, but we have exactly the hope that we'll finish in the Europa League spot. So that's the hope we have. And if you have seen Arsenal for the last 10 years, you will know better not to believe in Arsenal, at least.
I have. Listen, I've seen Arsenal, but the only thing I will say is that I think we could take advantage of the current situation with every club. And listen, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, there's been no upsets in the Bundesliga and, it's all been gone to plan. But listen, the Premier League is completely different to the Bundesliga. The Premier League is more entertaining for a start. The Bundesliga is probably a 3 or 4 horse race, whereas the Premier League, you could probably say that the top 8 will probably, it's probably a top 8 race, maybe top 8, 9. And then obviously with teams in progressing and improving, you could probably even say more than that. So I don't make comparisons to the Bundesliga because, like the Premier League is completely different. The Premier League is more open, there's more upsets. So, yeah, I do think we could take advantage of it. And I do think, right, that this break in the season, I think it will have really benefit us. Because Arteta, you go back, right, and watch all of Arteta's press conferences, and all the times that we've slipped up, he's always said in every press conference, I need more time with these players. I'm not getting enough time to implement my ideas with these players. So he's had the perfect opportunity in this break. Even, the fact that we've only come back to training in the last couple of weeks, he's had enough time with these players to psychologically get in their heads, to sort of, find out a bit more about them. And now that he's in training, he's probably going to be, getting through to these players. So listen, I think that, there's going to be I think we're going to come back a stronger team than we were before, just because, we've had that chance to regroup. We've had that, that chance to sort of take stock of what's happened. Arteta's had that chance to sort of, let things calm down. The players, our injured players, have had chance to come back. Yes, I know other teams' injured players will have done the same.
Yeah.
But I just think we'll be up for it. I really do. I think we'll be up for it. I think we'll be, we'll be one of those teams that will be, trying to finish the season as strongly as we can.
Yeah, and I would like to say one thing to Arsenal Vlogs. You said that Aubameyang is going to Real Madrid. You probably need to talk to Adam. He's the one who keeps commenting on every video that Aubameyang is not going to go to Real Madrid. They have no interest in signing Aubameyang at all. So probably a good debate between Adam and Arsenal Vlogs can happen on that.
Big up Agent Adam.
Yeah.
Daniel, we got a question here from Hasib. I've not seen him before, so hi Hasib, welcome. He's asking you, would losing Aubameyang have more of an impact than when Arsenal lost Alexis Sanchez?
No.
Because so ask the question again. What was it? Sorry.
Would losing Aubameyang have more of an impact than when we lost Alexis?
I'd say yes and no. Probably yes, because Aubameyang is literally loved by everybody, and when Alexis left, he never come out and said, "Oh, I love the club. I want to stay at the club. I want to." Aubameyang's come out and publicly said that. So if he leaves, he's going to listen. He's not going to be exactly the same as Van Persie, because he's given more to the club than Van Persie ever did. But I think it will be in the same sort of scenario where he's just said, listen, I love the club. I want to stay at the club. I want to, I'm happy here. And then if he leaves, depending on which clubs he leaves to, if he goes to Chelsea or goes to somewhere else in the Premier League like Man United, I think it could have a massive impact. I think everybody knew with Alexis Sanchez that he was going to leave. Yeah. Listen, he wasn't happy. He wasn't he wasn't fulfilling his ambitions, nor was Arsenal fulfilling his ambitions. And who can blame him when you've got players like Bellerin who criticise his winning mentality? The only thing that I think fans will be a bit perplexed on Sanchez is that he chose Man United over City when everybody thought that he was going for the trophies, and then the last minute he went for the money. That's probably the only reason why fans are sort of questioned him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
probably he thought that he'll get more playing time at United over City. But one more thing, I just want to say that what's the point of a player like Aubameyang saying that I love Arsenal, but he can't sit down with the recruitment team and finalize a contract and extend it? If he loves Arsenal so much, he should probably show it in the fact that he's actually signing a contract. So I don't believe that nonsense that players go out in the media and say that they love Arsenal, and at the end he leaves Arsenal. If that is the case, he should probably go out and sign an extension. Like, I appreciate the fact, like, David Luiz is a player who has never really said that I love Arsenal, I love everyone and stuff, but he's ready to take a pay cut and extend his Arsenal contract because he knows that one thing, yes, obviously it is about the money as well, but he's ready to actually play competitive football. He doesn't want to go to Benfica right now and play in a league that no one will bother about. So I like that spirit that David Luiz has. So it's probably high time that if Aubameyang says that he loves Arsenal, he needs to show it on the pitch, and he has shown it on the pitch, but with respect to the contract negotiations as well, he needs to show it there, and he needs to probably sign that contract then, if he's actually saying that he loves Arsenal. If he then goes to a Real Madrid or a Manchester United or probably Chelsea or whichever club he wants to go to, then he doesn't love Arsenal. He's just talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, what else have we got in the chat, Simpy?
So yeah, a lot of people liked that. So we got yes it would. Justice Aubameyang, like the spirits of a club, be a bigger impact. Cheddar's Sanchez single-handedly won matches for Arsenal, gave 100%. Aubameyang has won us so many points this season and single-handedly won us matches from Ilias. Tyrone Sanchez quality, him, Aubameyang and Pepe would have done us good. And then Omar, Aubameyang wants to go, let him go. Yeah, really. And also a quick update, that one player or that one person from that tested positive for the virus is a Spurs person. So it could be a Spurs player or coach.
It's probably Jose Mourinho.
I think they tested him wrong. They tested him for some shit that probably they were looking for. It's not COVID. It's just something that Spurs players have them inside them. It's a Spurs bug rather than a pandemic bug.
Yeah.
Probably take a shit detector. Found shit.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, and that's pretty much, I think, the situation in the chat.
Listen.
Someone called me a second Lee Gunner. It's Justice.
Oh, yeah, Justice. Nitesh, exactly. So you are the second Lee Gunner.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of new people in the chat today. There's been a lot of, listen, currently 23 people watching live. So, yeah, big up 23 people who's watching this live. Listen, there's 3 players who I want to quickly cover who I forgot to cover. And that is Maitland-Niles.
Okay.
Cedric Suarez and Eddie Nketiah. So we'll start with Eddie Nketiah, and I'm going to start with you, Simpy. Would you keep or sell?
This is, I think I've said this to start every single one. It's a tricky one. Well, I discussed this, I think, with Sam as well. And he mentioned, so it was like when Eddie starts, he doesn't have the same impact as when he's kind of like, when he's subbed on off the bench. So, yeah, I really like Eddie as like an impact player. Obviously, it didn't work out at Leeds, but that was no fault of his own. That's just because of Bielsa's style with Patrick Bamford. But even then, when he did play at Leeds, he was still scoring goals. But yeah, we need another striker because obviously we've got Lacazette, we've got Aubameyang, we've got Eddie, and Eddie can fill in his minutes on the Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Probably not this season, or the FA Cup. Maybe the FA Cup actually against Sheffield United, depending. But I've seen Omar there saying he's not good enough, but I think he just needs some more time. Really, I'd give him maybe like one or 2 more seasons just to show off his worth. But yeah, it's definitely worth keeping, I think.
And can I just read out one comment? Sam said the player tested positive for bird flu, being a Spurs fan.
The bird on the beach ball.
Nitesh, what would you do with Nketiah?
I would keep him. He's looked good, as you guys said, as an impact player, but he's just 20. So he needs some time. Either we send him out on a loan to a club where he fits into the system and not make the Leeds mistake again. If we are selling both our strikers, probably if we are letting Lacazette go, then we need to keep him at the club, because still we don't get another world-class striker or a good striker. We need to keep him. So for now, the decision should be to keep him and have him till the time we see what happens with the Lacazette and Aubameyang situation. And at the end of the season, we decide once the transfer window is open. If you're getting more players, then we can probably send him on loan. If you're not getting more players, then we need to have him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin, what would you do with Nketiah?
I'd probably keep him, but I'm also thinking of the option of loaning him out as well, because I think he needs more minutes under his name as well, because he's pretty much not going to get ahead on the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette, let's be honest. So he will need game time and he needs more exposure. The cup games may help him, but is he going to push it to the level where he's going to compete with the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette is still a big question mark. Even right now, he's behind the pecking order, behind Martinelli as well right now. So, because if you were to ask Arsenal fans, who do you opt? Is it going to be Eddie or Martinelli? I think all of us is in agreement that we would go with Martinelli, because he pretty much lit the league up. And so that's my opinion on it. I'd say for now, keep him, and then get him on loan at some club that's going to play him much more regularly. And then we'll recall him back to Arsenal, and then we can see whether he can compete with the likes of Aubameyang if it's still here, or even partner up with Martinelli and stuff like this. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Yeah, Nketiah is a tricky one, because he's just, the problem is he's he's got the talent, but I think with Nketiah we're in a now or never situation with him, in the sense that if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. The whole Arsenal team is so tricky that you could probably give them all away for Halloween.
Yeah.
Trick or treat.
And what about? So let's come on to the next one. Cedric Suarez. Simpy.
So this is a weird one. I don't know why I keep saying. I've said it now. Every single player.
It's so weird, yeah.
Yeah. So Suarez, obviously now, I know we're going on to him next, Maitland-Niles, but we've got Bellerin, who we all voted for him to get out. We don't really have a backup right back. So we've only got two actual right backs at the club, Bellerin and Suarez. We've not seen Suarez play any minutes. We've seen him training, but he's not actually worn the shirt on the pitch yet. I think it was discussed in another stream. I questioned, like, why did we bring him in knowing he was injured? Like, what was the point? And then someone's told me that it was just so it's cheaper to sign him. Then we can turn his loan into a permanent. Depending on his price, do any of you three know what his price would be?
He's going to come for free. He's going to come for free at the end.
Do you know his wages? Would it be?
I don't know about the wages, but there won't be any asking price because his contract at Southampton expires, so he's going to be for free. But the wages are not certain about.
Okay, to be honest, I'd bring him in. I'd bring him in just for that. Maybe not a starter, but maybe a backup, a decent right back backup. At least it'd be an actual right back as backup. And then we could get rid of Bellerin. If worst case scenario, Bellerin stays, but if not, we can have Max Aarons or whoever as right back. And Hoya, we won't have Jenkinson as right back, not again.
And Hoya, the E is missing in your name. Anyways.
Yeah, and Natish, Cedric Suarez.
See, Arsenal is a club known to sign free players, so he's going to be a free player at the end of the season. I think we'll take him. Because I'll tell you why we are trying to get all these free and cheap players. It's not because we think that they are going to be world-class legends at Arsenal. It's just because that if we have some of these players, we can then think about selling the useless players, like Bellerin in this case. If we have another backup right back who's at least there to complete a season and is decent, like Cedric, so we can then think that we can probably try to look for a buyer for Bellerin. And if we convince Niles, then obviously Niles will be my first choice right back. and Cedric will be probably my backup right back. And we are trying to actually offload some of these defenders which we don't need into the team. That is a similar reason why we may probably retain David Luiz as well. So the point with Cedric is that if we know we have a player who can survive a season and he can either be the first choice or the backup, then we can try to get rid of Bellerin. So that is why I think they're going to take Cedric, and we should take Cedric and see how things develop with the Bellerin transfer saga and stuff. Even if Bellerin is not going, and people say that Bellerin is our first choice right back, Cedric will be a good second backup right back for him, because then Niles will probably be sold.
Yeah. Kevin, what do you think about Cedric Suarez? Would you take him?
Yeah, I'd probably take him. I'd probably take Cedric. Forget about the factor that he's a free agent and stuff, but to be honest, he's much more better than all the players, all the players at right back that we have right now. And Ainsley Maitland-Niles has made it clear that he doesn't want to play at right back. So all the facts are proving that Cedric is natural right back, and yeah, it's better. But we keep often overlooking the fact that he's also the national team player. I think he played for Portugal as well, so he's one of the starters and the regulars there. So maybe for the fact that we just keep assuming that he's from Southampton, so of course his international standard and recognition is not getting well deserved and well renowned because he's from Southampton. So right now it only can improve him as a player as well, because Arteta has got a method in developing players, and I believe that Arteta also can improve him to perform better, maybe in a level, because at Southampton he's been training with average players, and so when he comes in with a different set of players, forget about the scraps that we have in our squad right now, but if they had the right players in there with him, I think he can work wonders with Cedric. And yeah, I'd probably keep Cedric.
Yeah. And I would probably keep him, because at the end of the day, we've not seen him, so we don't know whether he's crap or he's good.
Yeah, and I'll add one thing. I was ready to take Dani Alves over Hector Bellerin at the start of the season, because I knew Hector Bellerin will get injured. He's not going to be the same player that he used to be. I was hoping that Arsenal will sign Dani Alves and have him there at the club, because I knew that we were struggling with respect to right back. Even if Maitland-Niles is our second choice or the first choice right back, who doesn't want to play at right back, I would have still taken a Dani Alves as a backup. So I think Cedric is much better than Dani Alves right now, because Dani Alves is obviously old. So we can keep Cedric there as a first choice or a backup. No questions asked about it.
Yeah, I think we've not seen him, so it'd be a complete highly waste of time just to get him in and not play him. What are people saying in the chat?
So we got Jibs in the house, so big up Jibs. He said, he was for Southampton, he was good. Tyrone is saying, Niles doesn't want to play as right back because England have many right backs way better than him. Ilias, Arteta gave Ainsley Maitland-Niles his wish at not playing right back, so now he needs to make up his mind in where he wants to play. Melina's been laughing so hard this stream. Tyrone, Arteta drops Niles for Bellerina. Justice. Ainsley should go to Dortmund and replace Hakimi when he returns to Madrid.
Wow.
What are you smoking, man? I want it.
And Omar's saying he likes Ainsley, but he needs to go for the sake of his career.
Yeah. And Maitland-Niles is going to be the next player we come on to. So would you keep him? Let's start with Nitesh. So would you keep Maitland-Niles or would you let him go?
Firstly, that Hakimi joke is really, replacing Hakimi at Real Madrid, Dortmund, that's nowhere, not at all going to happen. Maitland-Niles isn't even a shadow of Hakimi right now. But anyways, what I can say is that with respect to Niles, if he agrees to play right back, I'm keeping him. If he says no to right back, I say no to Niles.
Yeah. Kevin? Maitland-Niles?
Yeah, exactly like what Nitesh has mentioned, because he can be a good right back. He's got the physicality in him. He got he can track back, he can attack. So that's what we need. And if he's going to keep on opting that he wants to play in midfield, which I feel he's never done a good job given the chances. So I don't think so. Even if he wants it, he's not good there. So play him where he's good at, and that's right back. And if he doesn't want, throw him out.
Yeah. Simpy?
Yeah, it's an easy one, really. Yeah, same as Kevin and Nitesh. It's just his whole attitude. He changes his attitude, apparently, as well. It's not being reported just by Arsenal, but by other people as well. That he's a bit chilled out. And people always say it looks like he's smoked loads of weed before playing a football match. He's just zoned out pretty much throughout the game. But yeah, I'm going to stick with what those two said. If he doesn't want to play his right back, then it's time to go, basically.
I'm not angry at him because he doesn't want to play right back. I'll tell you the reason. Because he knows he's not going to replace the likes of Alexander-Arnold in the England team. This is a move that he's trying to make with respect to his English career as well. So I'm not angry about it. If he doesn't want to play, just let him go. That's good for both him and us, because he's not going to play as a midfielder for us unless he really pulls off a miracle till the end of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I think Maitland-Niles has talked himself out of a position and a place at Arsenal. And I think the fact that he's too outspoken, the fact that he is, he's not accepted the fact that he is getting a first team place, albeit at right back. So yeah, listen, I think we should cut our ties with him. I think he's lost his chance. He's had his chance and he blew it. What are people saying in the chat?
There's a few arguments going across. Where am I? Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Did I read this one? I don't see why Ainsley's been overlooked to be sold. He definitely deserves a spot over other players. It's from Ilias. Justice Ainsley should stay. And then Omar's saying he's not convinced by Cedric. And then Justice is saying, Omar, he hasn't even played yet. What the fuck? And then Jibs has been asking why he doesn't like Cedric. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Everyone's just saying about Cedric, and Jibs' message just came in. Ainsley should take Saka example. He's not a left back, and look how he has performed. Not complain. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has had 18 months to make right back his own, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
See, again, want to respond to just the last part. He has had that time, but the only reason he's not been back there is because he doesn't want to. If he was actually committed to the job and playing in the first team and wanted to be a regular right back, he was already doing that under Wenger and Emery, and even under Arteta. I think he has not played right back. But the thing is, he doesn't want to play there. If he wanted to play there, then he would have been the first choice, because his ball control and his ability is way better than Bellerin right now. So you need to understand that if Niles wanted to be the first choice right back on a permanent basis, he could have actually done that. But he doesn't want to, so that's a different situation, and that is why even Arteta wants him gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So listen. Well, we've reached the end of the show, guys. Listen, we've gone through most of the players. I think we've gone through all of them. Listen, thanks to everybody who's tuned in the chat. Do smash the like, do smash the subscribe as well. And I just want to thank all you guys, my panel, regular panel. So first of all, Simpy, just give your channel a shout out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Daniel. Good to see Kevin and Natasha as well. And big up to loads and loads of people in the chat doing lots of debating and answering the questions and being nice to each other. So big up to everyone. My channel and Twitter is just Simpy141, and we've got a quiz with these three and possibly some other people like Sam Greenwood TV. Big up Sam, and big up Miss Melina as well. We'll be doing a quiz on Sunday 2 p.m. UK time. So if you want to join in, then please do. Yeah, and Nitesh, just tell everybody about your page.
Yeah, my page is Arsenal FC Fans. It's on Facebook and it's growing, obviously. And we're now promoting it a bit as well. And you can also see my brand, which is, here, somewhere here. It's Beyond the Post. No, it's here. It's here. Yeah, it's here. So it's Beyond the Post, and it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as well. And the beyondthepost.net is the website. You can probably check that out as well. We post regular content on there, and that's written content. But overall, mostly we are on Simpy's channel. We are on Daniel's channel, that is the Blind Gooner, and as well as on Sam's channel. And obviously, Kevin is the co-host, so credit goes to Kevin as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and Kevin.
Yeah, like Nitesh mentioned, I'm the co-host for Brian Kunar, and I'll be assisting in Daniel's shows and podcasts and mostly quizzes and stuff. So yeah, if you want to catch me, you can catch me in Twitter at KevinMark_434. And like Simpy mentioned, do check his channel out, Simpy141. He's got great things going. And do check out on Beyond the Post, Nitesh as well. He's Arsenal FC fans. I think you guys should check out on the competition that he just uploaded a few hours ago, about the competition about the last player that Arsenal might sign. So do take part in that and check it out, because he's giving out to the winners that get the exact player that's going to be the last signing for Arsenal. He's going to give out some merchandise or anything affiliated with Arsenal. So, and also I've noticed that Sam is in the chat as well. So pick up the guys in the chat. Do check out Sam Greenwood's channel and do check out Miss Melina's channel. They keep the content flowing and they are doing everything brilliantly during this lockdown. So keep yourself occupied by watching all of us every day.
Yeah, and I pretty much want to echo what Kevin says. Do check out Sam Greenwood TV, he's another regular on this channel. And also Miss Melina, who helps out with the running of this channel as well. So yeah, go and check out, go and subscribe to those guys and show them some support. That would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, also keep it locked here on the Blind Gooner, because I've got some great content coming up. Tomorrow, doing a quiz at 8 p.m. UK time. So keep it locked here for that. Then on Saturday is going to be another marathon of a day, because we've got 2 Bundesliga games. So we've got the Bayern Munich game. They're taking on Bayer Leverkusen. And then we've got the Dortmund game. I can't quite remember who they're taking on.
Hertha Berlin, I think.
Hertha Berlin, that's it. Yeah, Hertha Berlin. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's going to be like a one continuous watch along. So yeah, listen, keep it locked here. Do subscribe, do like, do share the content, do share the channel. And yeah, until tomorrow for the quiz at 8 p.m. It's a goodbye from me and it's a goodbye from the panel.
Bye.
Peace, guys.
Simpy can't stop fingering the placards.